Hey, welcome to your practice. I'm Ashley, and today I have a pretty juicy flow set up for us, focusing a lot on the low back. So if you sit at a desk all day or you stand and you tend to get a lot of tightness in the low back, this practice will be especially for you. And I hope you feel really better after you practice. So today you will need 2 blocks and a strap comes handy if you know that you're a little bit tighter in the legs. So I'm using a belt, something that you can use at home as well. If you have a yoga strap, that works wonderfully as well. But other than that, 2 blocks or a couple books to use to prop yourself up would be really helpful in this class or in this practice today. Okay, so just have your strap handy. We're gonna come into bridge pose. So we're gonna start on our backs. So have your blocks handy so that you can just kind of reach to one side and grab them. Okay. And you're gonna come onto your back, strap on one side, block on the other. Okay, and you're gonna place 1 block between your thighs. Okay, 1 block between the thighs. Okay, now you can choose to take it any way, just don't take it this long way. So you can choose to take it on its medium height or its lowest height. So depending on how wide your hips are. Okay, so likely if you're a female, you can go a little bit wider than this narrow position. Okay. So come down into a comfortable position on your back and have your second block handy. And now walk your heels back towards your hips and root your low back into the floor. So flatten the low back down, draw the low belly in, okay? And just take a moment here, spread the toes, and what I'd like you to think about doing is squeezing the block between your inner thighs. Now, as you squeeze the block between the inner thighs, think about squeezing the frontal hip bones towards one another, as if they were moving towards one another or towards the midline of your body. So you'll notice that when you squeeze the block, you've felt some engagement on the inner thighs, in the inner thigh region. Okay, keep that. Keep squeezing and breathing. I like to keep my hands on my low belly just to encourage this awareness that the skin of the low belly is drawing in towards the midline. Now, walking your hands up towards your rib cage, encourage the rib cage to knit together. Keep rooting down through the low back, drawing the belly button down towards the spine. Keep squeezing the knees. Okay, from there, start to scoop the tailbone forward. Inhale, lift your hips up. Peel your hips off of the mat for bridge pose. Now, pushing into the heels, the tendency here is to overuse the glutes. So we're not squeezing the butt cheek muscles too hard to where the knees are splaying out. That's why we're squeezing the block still. So if you can imagine pushing down into the heels, squeezing the buttocks, but squeezing the block simultaneously. Holding here for about 3 breaths, letting the palms to face up. Keep squeezing the block. Notice this gentle opening, this softening, this letting go that's happening in the low belly region. That's what we want. Okay, now from there, reach for your second block. Lift your hips another inch. Keep squeezing the block between the thighs, and then place your second block underneath your sacrum. So I'm gonna say either on its lowest height, or if you've got the space, you can take it on its medium height. But if this is early in the morning for you, and this is the first movement practice you're doing, start on its lowest height, okay? And the sacrum is this flat-shaped bone that rests right above the buttocks and right beneath the low back. So there's this space at the back of the pelvis that you can gently rest the sacrum down. And you're continuing to squeeze the block here, letting the palms to face up. Breathe. Okay. Now from there, let's go ahead and take the knees over the hips. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling and now remove the block. Now lifting the legs up towards the ceiling, just point and flex the feet to start. And notice what you notice. When we point the feet, we start to feel this stretching in the fronts of the legs. When we flex the feet, we start to feel the stretching in the backs of the legs. The idea is you'd like to think about the thigh bones rooting down in the hip sockets. So instead of reaching the legs up, you want to think about this groundingness happening in the thighs. The thighs are sucking into the hip socket here, and you're feeling the weight in the back of your pelvis or your sacrum. Okay, now from there, we're going to work on extending the left leg. So if this at all feels uncomfortable for you, start with a bent knee position by placing the left foot down. If you feel like you can take this forward, extend the left leg and ground through the left heel. Keep the right leg up here. Now start to draw the right knee into the chest as you extend your left leg long. Think about rooting down through the left inner heel. So the left thigh wants to rotate down towards the floor. Keep lengthening through the leg as if you're trying to reach the heel forward. Breathe in here. Breath out here. Inhale, lift your left leg right back up. Exhale, bend the left knee and extend the right leg as you breathe in. Good, and grabbing for the left knee, extending the right heel long. Really think about squeezing the quadricep, grounding through the heel and lengthening. Inner heel, inner leg line. One more breath. When you're ready, breathe in, bend the leg, take the knees up through center. Ground through the feet here. And now push down with the feet. Scoop the tailbone up. Lift the hips. Inhale. Navel to spine. Exhale. Slowly allow the hips to come down towards the mat. Awesome. Okay. We're going to work a little arch and flatten. So if you can imagine cat and cow, that's what we're about to do on our backs. So without lifting the hips, think about inhaling, arching the spine. Letting the tailbone, letting the pelvis rock forward. Exhale, start to scoop the tailbone under, flatten the low back. Press your low belly down. Inhale, arching the spine, let the belly fill up. Press the sacrum into the earth. Exhale, rounding, tucking, and flattening, ribs down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round, flatten. Good. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. Inhale, arch. Exhale, and flatten. Okay. Now from there, inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling. Perfect. Grab for your strap, or if you're flexible enough and you want to take peace fingers around the big toe, go for it. But we're going to work through a strap right now, or a belt. Now take the belt or the strap along the ball mount edge, the ball mount of your right foot. So the ball mount of your big toe and all 5 toes. Now grabbing the edge of the strap so that you're not pulling your arms up. Draw the shoulders down. Think about the backs of the shoulders grounded into the floor. Lift through the back of your heel. So you want your heel to be longer than your toes. Now, if it feels like you're really yanking on your leg, I'd like you to take your leg just slightly forward as if you were shining the sole of your foot to a 45-degree angle. I'll spread the toes quite a bit here, and then point and flex the foot a few times. And then continue to keep the foot flexed. Flex your quadricep, engage the leg, and now think about internally rotating the thigh, which just means this inner thigh wants to rotate forward. Keep squeezing the quadricep, letting the hamstring lengthen, and when you're ready, extend your left leg. As you extend your left leg, press out through both heels. Scoop the low belly down, draw the left inner thigh down, left inner heel down, internally rotating both legs. Breathe here for 2 breaths. Maybe take the strap into the right hand. We're going to work through an abduction. So we're letting the leg gently go out now. So allowing the leg to stay straight, gently press the heel out to the right. Okay. Now without letting your opposite hip lift, encourage your hand down onto that hip bone to keep that leg and that hip grounded. Now as the leg extends out to the side, press out through the inner heel, firm through the thigh, and think about the inner leg line stretching. Take a few rounds of breaths here. Enjoy this stretch. As you're ready, inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, switch the grip of the strap into your left hand. Let the leg gently go to the left side. So now it's crossing over to the opposite side. You can bring your arm to a T, just working the IT band, the outer hip. Keep engaged in the left leg. Keep flexing the hip. Flexing the leg. When you're ready, breathe in. Lift the right leg up. On your breath out, release the strap. Place your right foot flat. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale. Strap around the foot. Press out through the big toe ball mound. Grab the strap in both hands. Find a positioning where you can keep the shoulders rooted. And now push out through the big toe, through the inner heel. Press the heel up and then point the foot. Do it a few times and then find static. Think about rotating this thigh inward. So the inner thigh rotates straight forward. Keep the foot flexed and now flex the quadricep here. When you're ready, extend your right leg. Same deal. Press through the right leg, press through the heel, lengthen through both heels here. Draw the low belly down. Think about the hip bones drawing towards one another. Keep thinking about inner thighs rotating forward and down. When you're ready, shift the grip into your left hand. Slowly allow your left leg to descend to the left, right hand to right hip. Gently allow it to come all the way over to the left side. Awesome. So now we're really flexing this left foot. We're pushing through the inner heel, and we're feeling the stretch through the inner leg line. Still keeping the leg engaged, so still thinking about the quadricep staying engaged here. Press out through the other leg. From there, inhale your leg back up through center. Switch the grip of your strap. Exhale, let your leg just gently rock over to the right, across the body. Again, keeping the legs engaged, the feet engaged, the heels pressing away, finding a nice twist through the spine. Breathing here. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, release the strap and place your left foot flat. Okay. Inhale your right leg to bend. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat. And then just windshield wiper the leg side to side. Okay, let the knees gently drop to the right. And place your right foot on top of your left thigh. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, press your left knee down towards the floor. Squeeze your left gluteal muscle, your left buttocks muscle. Good, release your foot from your thigh. Take your foot to the outer edge. Inhale, your legs up through center, knees up through center. Exhale, let them drop to the left. Take your right or your left foot on top of your right thigh. Reach back as you breathe in. Push your right knee down towards the floor as you breathe out. Squeeze the right glute, the right buttocks muscle. One more breath. Release the foot from the thigh. Take a breath in, knees up through center. On your breath out, just roll over to one side. Let's come up onto hands and knees. Finding hands and knees here. Taking a moment to tuck the toes underneath and just shift your hips back as if you're moving into a child's pose. We will reach child's pose in a moment, but just leaning forward and back. Okay, bring the knees together, point the toes back for child's pose. This is my preference for child's pose, the knees together. That just helps open up the back body a little bit. And now from there, press the palms into the floor and imagine dragging the palms back. Lift your heart. Take a breath in, engaging through these lat muscles through here. Breath out, start to rotate the biceps forward. So the soft eye of the elbow starts to face upward. Triceps are wrapping back. Now, as you inhale, come forward. Tuck your toes, exhale. Downward dog, first one of the day. Or maybe it's not. All right, pressing into the index fingers, wrapping the triceps back. Once again, pedaling out the feet, just noticing your tendency here, shifting the weight side to side. Okay, now from there, let's take the heels up. Now firm through the arms, and lifting the heels, I'd like you to think about widening the feet just a smidge. Turn the toes slightly inward, the heels slightly outward. Now we're finding that this internal rotation is kind of a theme here in the low back opening. So what I want you to think about doing is over-exaggerating this internal rotation in the thighs. Now as you do that, push the thigh bones back. Start to really think about pressing the tops of the thighs back in space. And then from there, start to work through the chest, pressing the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Now, firm the quadriceps as best you can and hold. Firm the quadriceps and hold the firming. Start to think about spreading the feet apart. Now, you want to keep this engagement so that the outer hips start to open. You're keeping this engagement by peeling the heels apart, thinking about that isometric contraction of pulling the heels apart, simultaneously squeezing the quadriceps. Hold that, 5 breaths. Focus on holding that. Don't lose that. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Maybe the toes lift. Perfect. Let's walk the feet forward about a footprint so that we're straightening out our dog. And now same deal. Bend the knees. Think about spreading the heels and the feet apart. Pop up onto your finger pads so that you're not creating too much weight in your hands. So you're in a bit of like this fusion between a down dog and a forward fold. Hold that. Keep spreading the feet apart. Engaging through the feet. Allow the head to hang. From there, walk your hands back towards your toes. We're in a forward fold. Now, in this forward fold, heel toe your feet a little bit wider. Turn your toes slightly in. Bring your elbows to your knees and hang out here for a moment. Breathe. Okay, from there, inhale, lift the heart, look forward. Exhale, walk your hands right back to the top of your mat. Walk your feet right back into a downward facing dog. Okay, inhale your right leg high. Exhale, sweep your foot through, step your right foot to the top of your mat and lower your back knee. Okay, untuck the back toes. If you're feeling a little less stable, you can keep the back toes tucked. And then from here, what I want us to do is take our hands to our front thigh. Okay, now with our hands to the front thigh, press your thigh forward in space. Now as you do this, I want you to think your back left buttocks squeezes forward. Now as the back left buttocks squeezes forward, think about lifting the skin in the front of your hip up into your rib cage, and now lean a little bit more forward. Keep sending the tailbone down, lifting the skin in the front of that left hip up towards the rib cage. Now, when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart, slice it through the air. Pause here, push the palms into the heart, lean forward, breath in. On your breath out, hook your left elbow on top of your right thigh, maybe even the outer portion of the right thigh. Good. Now press the palms into one another, especially the pinky side of the palms, and that's what's gonna activate through the outer arm and in through the lats, and that's what connects the core and the back together. Keep leaning, keep scissoring the thighs, lift the low belly away from your front thigh. Maybe gaze goes back if you feel really stable, or up. Take one more breath in here. Breath out, release your hands down. Looking forward, inhale. Exhale, step your right leg back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, swing it through, top of your mat. Lower the back knee down. As you inhale, bring your hands up to your top thigh. Interlace your fingers and sink into the hips. Let's start with the engagement. So the right buttocks muscle wants to squeeze forward, but the skin at the front of the right hip wants to lift up. Okay, so we're just finding that. Tuck, lift. Okay, so we're getting a nice stretch front and back of the pelvis. Okay, when you're ready, inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Slice it through, push the thumbs into the sternum, breathe in, lean forward. Breathe out, hook right elbow to top of the left thigh. Press the palms into one another. Keep squeezing the back muscle, back gluteal muscle. Keep lifting through the chest, opening through the space between the collarbones. So widening the collarbones apart. Think almost like it's a back bend. Lift the belly off the front thigh, breathe. One more breath. Release your hands. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, step your left leg back for downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, send your right foot through, step it to the inside of your right wrist. Okay, from there, squeeze the back thigh, roll the right hip back, left hip forward for crescent lunge. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, reach your fingertips back for airplane. Now, as you lean the torso forward, just take your hands to your heart. Take a nice inhale, lengthen, spread the collarbones. Exhale, hook your left elbow to your right thigh. Okay. If this feels like too much, you just take the back knee down, that's no problem. Okay, but otherwise, we're progressing a little bit coming into this crescent stance. Okay, if you feel really stable here, you can release your arms long, maybe take the right arm up, the left arm down. Otherwise, staying at prayer position here. Take one inhale. Exhale, release your fingertips to the floor to frame your front foot. Okay. Now, from there, breathe in, look forward. Breath out, step forward to the top of your mat. Find a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, and send your right leg to the left side of your left foot. Now, as you inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold forward. Squeeze the thighs towards one another. Inhale, step your right foot back to meet the left. Exhale, walk your fingertips over to the top left corner of your mat. Bend your left knee, straighten out your right leg, and reach your right fingertips just a tiny bit further. Now, keeping the knee points to face forward, start to walk your fingertips over to the left. Okay, so you want to eventually line your fingertips up to the side, so you're in a complete side bend. The right leg is straight, left knee is bent. You're feeling the stretch along the entire right side of the body. Start to sink your hips over to the right. One more breath in. Breath out, walk the hands back through center. Okay, push down, inhale, root to rise. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweep arms up. Gaze goes up, maybe palms touch. Exhale, swan dive the heart forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step one leg back or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, lift up for upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step your foot through, top of your mat. Okay. Inhale for crescent, arms up. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, lean forward, sweep the arms back. Holding this airplane position. Exhale, just bring the hands to the heart. Lift the heart, breathe in. Exhale, hook your right elbow to your left thigh. Press the palms into one another. Remember, you can always take your back leg down, but for right now, if it's up, squeeze the back thigh. Rotate the left hip back, the right hip forward. Maybe you extend the arms. Maybe you keep them together at prayer. Wherever you are, press the palms into one another and lift your belly off your thigh. One breath in. On your breath out, release your fingertips down. Look forward, inhale. Step forward, top of your mat, exhale. Step your left leg to reach the right side of your right so your pinky toes are aligned. Take a nice inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold, squeeze your thighs into one another. Inhale, lift. Exhale, unwind the legs. Walk your hands to the right side, bend your right leg. Reach your fingertips, your left fingertips further forward. Straighten your left leg, nudge your left hip back. Big breath in. On your breath out, maybe you walk your hands over to the right a little bit more. Keep your kneecaps to face forward. Really getting into these areas of the back that we have a really hard time getting to. This should feel good. One more breath. Walk your hands back through center. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up. Gaze goes up. Maybe palms touch. Exhale, swan dive the heart forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, maybe planting the hands and jumping back, or maybe just stepping back. Chaturanga. Inhale, lifting upward dog or choosing to lift through cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great. Lower the knees and come to have a seat on the heels for a moment. We're going to move into a seated stretch. So we're going to come into a wide-legged stretch. You're going to grab a strap. Okay, coming into this wide-legged stretch, we're pretty open in the inner thighs just from sheer engagement, okay? So for right now, let's have you bend your left knee. I'm mirroring you. So you're gonna bend your left leg, take your left foot into your inner right thigh, okay? Flex your right foot, toes towards your face. Grab your strap and take your strap or belt around the ball mount of your extended leg. Now, from there, fingertips to the floor. Take an inhale, lift. On your exhale, twist yourself so that your belly's right over your extended leg. Now, as you inhale, switch the grip of your strap into your left hand. Take your right fingertips to the floor. Pull yourself in a tiny bit more. So lift up through the heart, inhale. Exhale, start to fold yourself over your front leg. Now, this is where the tricky part happens. So your free arm, the one that does not have the strap, so your right arm, is going to come to the inside now of your leg. Palm's going to face up. You're rooting down through your elbow and your forearm. Now, walk your hands up the strap a little bit closer to your toes if you can. Root through the left sit bones and the right sit bones. And now firm the legs. Really squeeze this extended leg. Take an inhale. On your exhale, like you're trying to look underneath your left armpit and twist your body up towards the ceiling, do so. Keep pulling on the strap. You're going to feel a really pretty strong stretch in this left back side body here. Okay, so that's what we want. It's an area that we don't always get to, and it's an area that gets really compressed when we sit down quite a bit in our desks or our couches or our cars. Can you root the left sit bones even further into the floor? Take one more breath in and slowly find your way back up. Whew. Okay, let's switch the sides. So left foot is now extended. Your right foot is on the inner left thigh. I have to take a pause and think about the cues because I'm mirroring you. Okay, so now we're extended through the left leg. Take an inhale, press the finger pads into the floor, lift the heart. On your exhale, just twist your torso to directly line up with the center of your extended leg if you can. Okay. Now notice if this side feels different already. It may, and in fact it does for me. So just recognize that, be aware of that, and know where to go and where to back off. Okay. So as you breathe in, take your hand, your strap over onto your right ball mount. You're going to keep the right hand on the strap. Okay. Left hand is alongside your body. Take an inhale as you lift. Pull on the strap. You're just going to start to feel your right side rib cage pull forward or rotate forward. On your exhale, lead with your chest and fold over your leg. Engage the leg as much as you can. Root through the right sit bone, so that opposite sit bone. Now, when you feel good here and you want more, start to take your left forearm and elbow inside of your extended leg. Root it down, palms gonna face up. Start to walk your right hand further onto the strap, closer to your foot. And when you're ready, push your forearm down, breathe in, lift the heart, gaze underneath the armpit as if you're trying to twist your chest towards the ceiling. Rooting through that right sit bone. Really think about pressing down through the bottom elbow to lift up. Start to feel that stretch along the outer right side of your back. One more breath here. Release. Slide yourself back up. Extend the legs forward for Paschimottanasana. Forward, fold, seated, forward, fold. Extend the feet forward, slight bend to the knees. Keep the bend in the knees. We're not working the hamstrings here, we're working the back. Okay, you may use a strap, of course. If you can grab for your feet, go for it. Strap can come handy here as well. Okay, now when you're ready, remove the flesh from underneath your sit bones. And now finger pads into the floor, breathe in. Lift, 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 lift. Keep the lift, breath out, fold, bend the knees. Belly rests right on top of the thighs. Walk your hands forward, either grabbing the strap if you're using one or grabbing for your feet. Now think about the inner foot rotating forward. So the big toes are pressing forward. You're still flexing the feet back. Keep lifting through the heart. Keep folding as you exhale. One more breath here. And release. Start to point the toes. Point the toes. Start to feel the stretch along the tops of the feet as you slide your hands back on your thighs. Okay. Let's come onto our backs now. Knees into the chest for happy baby. Soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and draw the knees down towards the floor, flexing the feet, lifting the heels up. Playing around, maybe rocking side to side. And then from there, take the soles of the feet together, draw the heels down towards the groins. Breathe. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. Big inhale, squeeze the knees, hollow out the belly. On the exhale, release your legs, long. Now, if you're feeling like you're still tender in your low back, I highly suggest taking a pillow or blocks underneath your knees to create a little bit of height to take the pressure off of your low back. So if at all you're feeling that way, go ahead and take your props and relax down. Lie in Shavasana for another 3 to 5 minutes. Namaste.